I saw, and behold, spaghetti. Spaghetti. Spaghetti.
Breakdown.
And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, spaghetti. Spaghetti.
make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, makes us power. Work it, make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, makes us power. Work it, make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, work it. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger, more than ever. Hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger, more than ever. After you got the epic mother. Work it.
And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold,
spaghetti. Spaghetti. Spaghetti.
breakdown.
And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold,
Spaghetti. Spaghetti.
work it, make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, makes us power. Work it, make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, makes us power. Work it, make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, work it. Make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. All than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. All than ever, hour after. We got the epic mother. Work it.
And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold,
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Spaghetti.
breakdown.
And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold,
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
I'm Alana Wood, and I'm the Director of Advanced Academics for Magnolia Independent School District. And I want to thank you for joining us this evening as we celebrate the International Baccalaureate Class of 2020. Exactly. Yes, let's do it. I flash back to March when our staff and students were asked to pivot, which I'm sure we've heard quite often lately, and adapt to the situation with which we have all become much more familiar. Upon reflection, my heart swells with pride at how our students, teachers, campus administrators, and other staff accepted and adjusted to this situation. I'm also grateful that we pressed on and got through this year and through this journey, this 2-year journey for the IB students, and finished strong in the spring. So we're here to celebrate, and I know you don't want to hear from me, so at this time I would like to introduce one of those successful survivors and journey persons, Mrs. Zoe Boyd.
Hi. Welcome to the 2020 IB graduation ceremony. As you just heard, I'm Zoe Boyd. I'm from Magnolia West High School. I'm currently going to Sam Houston State. I'm so excited and grateful that we are able to gather here today and really celebrate the 2 IB cohorts in Magnolia ISD. We've been through a lot together, so the past 2 years, junior and senior year, have really been challenging, but also very rewarding. So without further ado, if you feel comfortable to do so, please stand and say the U.S. and Texas Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. You may be seated. Again, thank you to everyone who made this happen and put this together, and please enjoy.
Good evening. It's good to see people here, and I'm very glad we're getting to have this event. You may have noticed your program says Todd Stevens will be here. I am not Todd Stevens. He has a little bit more gray hair than I do. My name is Jason Bullock, and I'm the Deputy Superintendent for the district, and I wanted to come talk to you guys tonight because I spent a large part of my career working with kids who are trying to get through this program and survive it, first as a teacher and then as a principal of a school with an IB diploma program. So for me, a night like this is still hugely important, and I just want to extend my congratulations to the students who have earned IB diplomas. To hear you guys come back and get to talk to us about what life is like on the other side of IB and what life is like for you as you are closing out your first semester in college is really a highlight for us as professionals in the school district because we're just proud of you. And we get to hear how you guys are going out, how you're well prepared, and it encourages us to keep doing what we're doing. And as a school administrator, on behalf of our central office staff and our school board and our superintendent, Dr. Stevens, I want you guys to know how much we believe in this program and how much we're committed to continuing to support it in ways that give opportunities to our kids. So for me personally and on behalf of the district, welcome tonight. And if this is your first one of these, you're in for a real treat, parents, because you're going to get to hear from some amazing kids and hear how this program has made a difference in their lives. For us to begin the next phase of what we're doing, we have food. There are 2 lines on each side of the room. And so if you want to get up now and go get your plate, you'll be served as you move down the line, and we'll begin with dinner and then commence with our program shortly. So welcome, and let's have a great night.
work it, make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, makes us power. Work it, make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, makes us power. Work it, make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, work it.
And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold,
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Spaghetti.
breakdown.
And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold,
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
if it's winter time, even if it's summertime, even if it's raining, you are going to love it. Even if it's winter time, even if it's summertime, even if it's raining, you are going to love it.
Work it, make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, makes us power. Work it, make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, makes us power. Work it, make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, work it.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Spaghetti.
Breakdown.
And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold,
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
And have a great night. My name is Derek Parsons. I am the IB coordinator for Magnolia High School. Tonight I do have the honor to recognize a number of people that are instrumental into the thriving of our IB programs at both campuses. So once we do that, then I'll have a few things to say to my students, and then we will get to what we're all really here to hear for is to hear the students speak. So tonight already you've heard from our Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Jason Bullock, and our Director of Advanced Academics, Ms. Wood. I would also like to introduce our Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Brandon Garza. Just as we have a wonderful support from our district administration, I'd like to acknowledge our MISD Board of Trustees. They strongly back the IB program in our district. Next group I'd like to acknowledge is our IB teachers. You can have the finest, I say this every year, you can have the finest curriculum in the world, and it's true, but unless you have people to teach that curriculum and teach it well, then you ain't got nothing. And so the teachers, those are the ones that implement it. They are the lifeblood of our program. I know that we have many here tonight. So please, if you're a teacher of an IB subject here tonight, please stand and be recognized. Yes, absolutely. You'll probably hear many of their names this evening in their speeches. Now, of course, this is always the thing that I remember as a parent sitting in the crowd when they introduce and thank the parents. So I'm like, oh, okay. So parents, yes, you're the ones who have done it all since they were little babies. You've done the worrying, you've done the helping, you've done the molding, you've done the empowering, you've done the ups, and you've done the downs, and all of it. So students, just for a moment, give your parents a little applause. Now, the handling of the day-to-day operations on campus, and especially in the case of IB diploma curriculum policy, scheduling matters, all of those things are no small challenge. We're blessed on both of our campuses to have exceptional administrative support and leadership. So please help me recognize the Associate Principal from Magnolia High School, Mr. Danny J., and the Assistant Principal, and the Assistant Principal who oversees advanced academics from Magnolia West, Ms. Fielder. And of course, leadership and vision on campuses begins at the top. And those are our two campus principals. In IB Speak, they have a very special title. It's called Head of School. We are fortunate to have both these men guiding the ships of our high schools. So please help me recognize tonight the head of school for Magnolia West, Dr. Ben King. And then, of course, for Magnolia High School, Mr. Quinn. Now you're probably wondering, where's Mr. Quinn at? So Mr. Quinn's son is graduating from Texas A&M this evening. There you go. And I think we can all give him a pass on that tonight, but he certainly passes along his congratulations to all the graduates. And last, certainly not least, there are a few people who deserve thanks for what we have here this evening that has been set up for us. First is the Director of Events Facilities responsible for the setup. That is Mr. Mike Overman and his staff for everything that you see here tonight. And then certainly two people who work tirelessly in the communications department and help with a great deal of what is here also tonight. Our district communications director, Ms. Denise Myers, and our marketing director, Ms. Kate Hope. And though he will be up here shortly, I certainly want to introduce the IB coordinator from Magnolia West, Mr. Jeremy Day. And as far as firsts go, we are live streaming tonight. So welcome graduates and families and others in the IB community who are with us virtually tonight. I know two in particular who are watching right now. So hello, Taylor Thomas and Ksenia Dido. We miss you. We wish you were here with us. And our hearts are with you in Kentucky and San Antonio. So it's customary for coordinators to say just a short bit to the graduates, just real quick, and I'll do that, and then we'll get to our first graduates for our speeches tonight. How it works is 5 students are selected from both campuses to give speeches. So Magnolia High School goes first, and then West will be next, and then we award the diplomas after that. So. I don't know that, most of my people are over here, so I'm going to look this way. I don't know that there's anything that I have new to say that I haven't said to you at some point in some way in the last 2 years. But that being said, let me say the things that it is expected of me to say, okay? MHS graduates, the IB Diploma program is the most academically rigorous program we offer in our district. IB is not for everyone, but it was for you. It was a choice you made, and you were steadfast in it. You entered the race and completed it. And I might say in record fashion, because you guys have the highest diploma passing rate of any IB class we've had so far at Magnolia High School. All this speaks to your character and academic determination. But before this begins to sound too much like a generic letter of recommendation, let me talk about the experiential side of your journey, or should I say, our journey. And this is when the speech gets particularly Parson-esque. Yes, that's right. As part of the Ivy Visual Arts exhibition that was not able to be had, Abby Brown created a lithograph collage with multiple sayings on it. One of them said, "We are increasingly temporary." Well, that's an especially Parsons thing to think about. You know, and I think about this from time to time. I don't want to be too overdramatic, but we've only got one shot at this thing, right? One life to live. And who we spend that life with fills the pages of our story. Some of these people we choose, but others come into our lives simply by circumstance, like coworkers, or people at our churches, or other social communities, like school. For the last 2 years of my life, you have been a part of my story, and I, yours. I didn't really choose you, and you really didn't choose me. We were both just the people that were there. But either way, there we were, and we still are together. We are written in the pages of the story of each other's lives. And for me, and I hope for you too, I'm so happy that it was you. Thank you for being a wonderful chapter in not only Magnolia High School's story, but my story, my only story. The other thing that has occupied some of my mind space lately is how struck I am at the inability to accurately communicate to each other our inner world of subjective experience. This is due to the limited nature of language. I'm sorry, it sounds like a TOK lecture. Sorry. This is due to the limited nature of language. Not that language intrinsically is limited, but its capacity to convey how we feel is limited. Within us, there are these things we call feelings, and we give names to these feelings, names that we all collectively agree mean relatively the same thing from person to person. So if I say, I am frustrated, I'm giving a label to something within myself that no one else has access to. But somehow we have all generally agreed that we know what someone feels like when they say they are frustrated. Therefore, the usage of the word is valid. But there are some feelings that are even more complicated, more complex. And language comes up woefully short in attempting to describe. When we have these kinds of complex feelings, we often attach modifiers to try to enhance the word because it's just not expressive enough. And then we throw in some metaphors or whatever to spice it up. I have that struggle tonight because the phrase, "I am so proud of you," is inadequate in describing what I feel when I think of your accomplishments, the ways you conducted yourselves, how you have developed as students and as individuals over these last 2 years. The word proud is but a fraction of the meaning that is intended. Magnolia High School graduates, I am wildly proud of you. How's that for a modifier? This room and these people, they are proud of you too in their own unique and special way. You have done our institution proud with your academic success, both past and future. Let me say on behalf of all of us, congratulations on meeting the requirements necessary to be awarded the IB diploma. It is a big deal, and it's an honor to share that with you tonight. So let us all give our applause for our graduates. Congratulations. Okay, whew. Well, I've done my bit. Okay, students, it is time. So I believe we have Courtney, yes, is first, followed by Cameron. So I've done my bit. It's time we get on to the thing we're really here for, and that's the students. So 5 students from each school, like I said, has been selected to represent their class by giving a speech about their experience, their story in the IB diploma. So tonight we begin with Miss Courtney Foltz.
Hello, my name is Courtney Foltz, and I'm a, hopefully, biology major at the University of Texas in Austin. And I'm just going to start because I'm nervous. But Before sharing my experience through the International Baccalaureate program, I would like to thank the people who got me here and the people who also helped me stay. My first thanks go to my parents and my sister, the three people who have been supporting me from the very beginning and made sure I did the best I could and then pushed for even more. With that comes an apology to you, Mom, for probably causing way more stress to you with my constant complaining about my assignments that really weren't that hard. I couldn't find me in me, I just couldn't find it in me to do them. I dwelled on the concept of work rather than the joy of completion. I would also like to give a huge thank you, although quite a bit overdue, to Mr. Parsons and every single IB teacher. The IB program would not be the same without this faculty. This is a group of people who are more supportive than a student could ever dream of having. Ms. Parsons and Ms. Byer are the two that stand out most during my reflection in this program. In every little day-to-day conversation, a relationship grew that a student truly desires to have in school. This relationship helped me develop into a student that I now can confidently talk in class and ask questions, something that I could never imagine having before this program. And my biggest thank you has to go to every other student in IB. Y'all are my backbone for the last 2 years, and if it were not for y'all, I'm not sure how far I would have made it. The constant support that I was given through a group of 30 kids is immeasurable, especially considering we didn't know what we were doing or what we were going to do next. The experience I had in IB was truly one of a kind, but it was one that I did not expect starting my junior year. I never thought it would lead to the point where I would end up crying in Parsons' office because I was too stressed out. And my promise to you is that it's really not that bad. I'm just forever grateful for being that dramatic, to which I owe another thank you to Parsons for acting like it never even happened. Another far-reaching aspect in IB is putting a large group of people into the same classes for 2 years and expecting it'll all just work out. Although I knew we'd be able to work together, I honestly doubted that most of us would become friends, let alone get as close as we all did. This doubt only came from the fact that we were all so different, but that proved to be the best thing about this. The IB program not only allows you to gain knowledge in every realm of education to evolve into a more developed and well-rounded student, it also gives you a family within your school. This family knows you and is battling with the same struggles you are, while also being able to celebrate the same successes. The IB program distinguishes itself with a series of words that define what a student can stand for. The word communicators, by definition, is to share ideas. Now, for the most part, this is pretty common sense, but IB really allows you to have this as your new routine. In this program, you have to speak in class more than I can ever imagine or explain, but looking back, I would not have changed that for the world. Before this program, I had terrible anxiety when coming to speak in public, and I think this is something that is shared among a majority of people. It's just hard to stand up and talk about things, you know? Thinking about it now, if Parsons would have asked me 3 years ago to stand up and talk to this many people, I would have said absolutely not. The initial anxiety and stress this program caused me from the very beginning quickly turned into something I loved, which is the ability to communicate knowledge you learn combined with the insight you gain from other students. This communication not only means speaking in front of others, it also refers to the conversations you have every day throughout the program with people next to you. Trying to get through this program as an independent person would be an entirely different thing. This program requires you to need people by your side and just to communicate with. This is not always an easy chapter in a student's life. There are going to be times when the stress just knocks you down and you need someone to build you back up, and that just takes pure communication. When looking back at your life, you are able to pick out the parts when you are conversing with others, and I swear it has to be at least half the day, even more. IB forces you to get comfortable with that constant speaking really fast, and just think about how all the 40-minute presentations we had to do, that just proves it. A communicator is probably the most important component of IB, and it aids in establishing your role in not only a community, but your path in education. As a twin, from the very beginning, I've had to step out and start conversations with everyone just to feel as though I'm distinguishing myself to avoid comparison. This distinction allows you to become more than just an answer to a question, but you share your ideas and that you are so much more valuable than just a sentence or a word. Your ideas are true knowledge, stories, and experience that cannot be expressed just through some test. This is why IB is so worthy. To them, you're more just a student reaching for the right answer, but you are appreciated for what you actually have to say, and those words of expression frame your classmates and your teachers' knowledge in a way that cannot be compared to any form of learning. All right, I'm going to pass it to Cameron.
Hello. My name's Cameron Kirschvink. I'm a chemical engineering major at Texas A&M right now. Whoop. And so all I have to say really is that receiving the IB diploma was no easy task, as I'm sure the other recipients here can attest to. So I'd like to thank those that helped me along my path. First, we have my mom, who always kept me on track, and there's also my dad, who always had confidence in me, and my brother, who motivated me to work hard so that I could be a good role model for him. And there's also my girlfriend and my friends in the IB program that helped me have fun along the way. And when I look back on my time as an IB student, it is apparent that being an inquirer was essential to my success. Asking questions and being passionate for learning is something characteristic of IB students. The program's rigor and frequent open-endedness encouraged me to take responsibility for my own learning. As a result of this, I believe that everyone should actively pursue learning at some point in their life. I'll throw in a nice quote. As Socrates once said, "I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think." And I think this represents the IB program because rather than learning the facts, we were expected to ask questions and explore new perspectives. For me, having the experience to grow intellectually from this is what I enjoyed most from the program. But inquiry is not just about asking questions and pursuing knowledge. It is just as important to listen to what others have to say and the questions you ask, and to take in new perspectives other than the ones you have on your own. With this, inquiry and listening can be viewed as two sides of the same coin. Both are needed to learn. And so I'm grateful that the IB program develops these skills as they have been essential during my college experience. The 4 years are a time to take in new perspectives and discover what you're passionate about to find out who you really are. And these values will hold true for me as I continue to ask questions, conduct research, and pursue my degree. But beyond my education, the ability to inquire drives my curiosity within my hobbies and helps me form opinions and understandings of societal issues. It is this, the ability to make well-informed judgments and opinions, that lasts beyond my education and lasts a lifetime. Thank you. I will now pass it to Morgan.
Hi. I'm a little nervous. Okay. Welcome, everyone. My name is Morgan Budiske, and I would please ask everyone to bear with me for the next 5 minutes or so, because honestly, I've never been one to give speeches to a large crowd. To start off my addition to this lightning round speech-giving extravaganza, I just wanted to say a big thank you to my friends and family who have stuck by me for the last 2 years of high school and beyond, to my freshman year of college. You guys have been the constant in my life through all the sleep-deprived 2 a.m. questions about tests or essays, and inevitably the over-caffeinated, very, very weird me that ended up afterwards. To my mom and dad, I know my impeccable ability to procrastinate on everything and anything kept you up most nights, and I can't thank you enough for yelling me enough about time management that it actually resonated within my brain. To my IB family, the bond we created over our mutual cluelessness in calculus and combined logic that if none of us do the discussion posts, then we all can't get zeros, has been irreplaceable in my eyes, and I can't thank y'all enough. I also wanted to give a huge thank you to the teachers and the administrators that have not only watched me grow up, but have also motivated me to find my own truth in a time where slews of new information are constantly being thrown at you. Also, very quickly, I wanted to apologize to them, as I know I can be very unfiltered with what I say. Mr. Parsons definitely knows about that, seeing as we had a special Friday ritual that definitely could have gotten me in trouble with any other teacher. But luckily for y'all, it's Thursday, and this speech must remain PG. The International Baccalaureate Program and my experience at the University of Texas at Austin, welcome, related to each other in both the diverse curriculum being taught and their ability to keep me up to my neck in research papers and essays. But despite its truly overwhelming nature, I would not be as prepared either mentally or physically as I am currently without the coursework that I experienced within this program. And it has, in turn, allowed me the opportunity to venture out into the world of information that is at my fingertips. This journey, I know, will be a lifelong attempt at the almost impossible. I do not consider myself knowledgeable. Yes, that statement is a seemingly random introduction to the previous aspects of my speech. But as is the sole concept I was asked to speak on, I felt as though I should preface that piece of information to you all. IB defines the characteristic of knowledgeable within their learner profile as a student that develops and uses conceptual understanding while also exploring knowledge across a range of disciplines. Of course, when framed within the context that the program provides for us, many of us believe that this adjective describes us to a T. Otherwise, I don't think we would be here. But when I delved in the multifaceted definition of both knowledgeable and knowledge to write this speech, it became increasingly clear that, like many other things, it's more complicated than previously thought. Richard Cecil, a man that I honestly didn't know existed until I looked up knowledgeable quotes, once said, "The first step towards knowledge is to know that we are ignorant." This acknowledgement of the fact that one generally lacks awareness in one or multiple areas is exactly why knowledgeable is just a word that should not be used as a descriptor, at least not alone. One may desire to be described as knowledgeable, to be seen as a person that has gained a sense of topics both global and local, but the achievement of such a goal is seemingly impossible in the face of the exponential amounts of information that is continuously being discovered and expanded upon in the global sphere. And that is why the admittance to ignorance is so crucial to the future digestion of new information. By assuming that you know everything, you close yourself off to the world around you and all it has to offer. But by recognizing how little you know on the international scale, your desire to learn never ceases. Living a life full of academic hunger, aspiring to become knowledgeable in every sense of the word, will not only help you within your collegiate or high school career, but it will serve you in your life as a vehicle for broadening your perspectives and your mind. Two aspects that only emphasize your humanity. Thank you. And this is Angel. Woo. I'm gonna help you out.
Hello, everyone. My name is Angel Martinez, and I'm a graduate from the Magnolia High School and currently attending Purdue University pursuing an aerospace engineer. First off, I would like to thank everyone for coming and supporting everyone in the IB program, as well as everyone who helped set this whole thing up. And I would also like to thank my parents and friends who helped me through my 2 years of IB, as well as all the teachers who put up with me in their classes, especially you, Mr. Smith. You go off. Out of all the experiences that I went through in high school, I feel that the IB program best prepared me for what was yet to come post-high school, in both school and life in general. During my time in high school, I was in multiple clubs, on the soccer team, did tutoring, and in the IB program. Although all other clubs helped me as well, the IB program really helped me balance schoolwork, soccer, and my life outside of school. At the beginning, it was hard adjusting to all the work given, but after a while of being in this program, I got the feeling of what I had to do and maintained a balance among all the other commitments I had made. This trait of being balanced was learned through the help of the program and can be learned by anyone who tries. With IB being a lot of work, if you were to procrastinate, you would feel more stressed out about trying to catch up rather than being on pace. By having a balance with your schoolwork and life outside of school, it makes the IB program a much smoother ride. I also believe that a balance in school is important to one's health. Before spring break of our final year in high school, Cameron Kirchvink and I set up a Mario Kart tournament as our CAS project to relieve stress from our fellow classmates. We believe that after all of our assessments and essays that were due, people needed to relax and de-stress with a fun tournament with a game everyone was familiar with. Even some teachers showed up to play in the tournament. Although it was only one lunch period, I do believe that our tournament helped lift morale among the students and teachers to finish off their school day strong. I also mentioned that this trait I developed also helped me with life outside of school. Some people might say that balance in life is being able to do our everyday tasks while still being able to do additional others. As a soccer player, I put it as a priority to go to practice at least twice a week and still be able to hang out with friends on the weekend. As a son, I made it a priority to put my family first while still being able to have time to myself to self-develop. When talking about the balance of things, we usually refer to the balance of time and how we use it. With the IB program, developing my sense of balance, it helped me mature as a student, a soccer player, and as a person. Overall, I feel that IB was one of the best decisions I've ever made and believe it really changed my life, even if it was a rigorous program. That is why I thank IB for all the experiences and Mr. Parsons for convincing me to take it sophomore year. Thank you. And this is Abby.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Abby Brown and I attend the University of Oregon. I'm majoring in architecture and minoring in German and Scandinavian studies. Let me again offer my congratulations to this year's IB diploma recipients. Against all odds, really, we did it and I'm so proud of all of us. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge a few very special people for their support over my 2 years in IB. First, my mom and dad for their affirmations, encouragement, and attempts to learn the meanings of the many, many acronyms in the program. Your dedication to understanding what on earth an HL English IOC was really meant the world. Next, I have to thank Mr. Parsons, not only for convincing me that it was a good idea to sign up for my sophomore year, but for continuing to guide me in all my pursuits throughout my time at Magnolia High School, academic or not. I believe I owe you a special thank you for pushing me to take that SAT one more time in December, but I'll come back to that. I want to thank all of my teachers for ensuring that I was prepared for the IB exams and college, especially since the tests that we prepared for over 2 years never happened. Special shout out to Mr. Finley, who I don't think is here tonight, for giving me a reason to finally sew a Victorian gown, and to Mr. Smith for just being really rad. I want to thank my peers. Your camaraderie and experience we shared together was a huge part of what made this endeavor worthwhile. You guys became family, and we just really couldn't have done all that without that. To Courtney Foltz and Morgan Budase specifically, who spent at least 7 o'clock to 2:30 every day with me for 2 years, thank you for sticking with me. Your companionship is and was invaluable. Finally, I must thank my dear friend Marie Yanchak, who also couldn't be here this evening because she got a job as a beekeeper. You are an inspiration, and I could not be giving this speech if you hadn't proofread it first. Outside of being given the opportunity to thank those who got me here, I was asked, just like the 9 other diploma recipients speaking tonight, to reflect on what IB has done for me since I graduated. To look at it quantitatively, the IB program, along with a little help from that final SAT Mr. Parsons convinced me to take last year, earned me an esteemed scholarship and thus the ability to attend an out-of-state school with a great architecture program that I truly want to be a part of. But I'm not alone in this feat. Plenty of my peers in this room were also admitted to amazing universities with the programs of their dreams because of that diploma that they'll receive tonight. But this is still nowhere near the most valuable thing that we each got out of the IB program. I'm sure everyone in this room has at some point been told that college is the time for people to grow or to figure out who they are or some other variation of that sentiment. It's such a classic remark that I was assigned not 1, but 2 reflections on my personal growth over my first term. I think the reason that college is so widely regarded as this time for self-growth is because of the diversity of people, backgrounds, and knowledge that you are exposed to. But wasn't that also a crucial aspect of the IB program? Through our IB classes, we were introduced to an array of personal experiences, like how we spent nearly 2 months studying Langston Hughes and his experiences in segregated America through his poetry, or how a significant portion of our American history course acknowledged Canadian, South American, and Central American history because, after all, the Americas are continents, not a country. These are only 2 of the many examples of the IB program exposing us to our diverse and complicated world far before we even started higher education. This exposure has shaped us into principled individuals with, as IB puts it, respect for the dignity and rights for people everywhere. This is more important and more obvious this year than ever. It's cliche, but 2020 has been a far more eventful year than any of us could have possibly anticipated. Luckily, our IB education prepared us to approach every facet of this year's complexities with fairness, justice, and responsibility. We have been able to best engage with the issues of our time because, well, we'd already been doing so in class. Our thorough approach to current topics will stick with us far longer than our time in college, and thus I can confidently claim that the greatest thing the IB program has done for us was ensure that we are not just great students, but empathetic people. Thank you.
I didn't trip coming up, so that was a good thing. My name is Jeremy Day. I'm blessed to be the IB coordinator at Magnolia West High School. Can we give those guys one more round of applause? This is not easy to do. I do like the bright lights, though. I can't see y'all too well, so that's fantastic. When we were planning this year's program, one thing we were adamant about was having students have the stage more than the older individuals in the room. And as much as I hate to admit this, this includes me, so I will keep my remarks brief, which is probably good for all of us. Speaking of gaining years of wisdom, as you begin to gain more of these, you also tend to become more reflective. Over the years, I've been humbled to see students start and finish this program that have been absolutely transformed by it. And they've gone on to do some really amazing things. For the class of 2020, I've seen the same and can't wait to see what they will accomplish in their future. Normally, like when I'm giving speeches, I can't get too emotional because, as my kids know, it won't go well. So my speech is going to be a little lighter than Mr. Parsons, but I thought he did an amazing job. The learner profile provides a very clear picture of what we are striving to achieve here. And actually, I've never really thought about the learner profile in this way. So this is what I came up with. When our students finish their IB program, we want them to become knowledgeable, inquisitive, open-minded thinkers who care about others. We want them to be balanced risk takers with principles that are reflective and communicate effectively. In the world we are currently residing in, these skills are not just a luxury, but a vital necessity. What some of you may not know is that this is the 5th year of the IB program in MISD. As such, IB requires that each member school complete something called a 5-year review. We actually just had a meeting on this a couple days ago. This review helps schools reflect on the current state of the program, looking for ways to improve. It entails a lot of paperwork, as you can imagine, and can be quite tedious. Now, I don't tell you this to be a martyr in any way. I think the process is needed, and we're learning a lot from it. I did want to point out to Dr. Bullock that during our preliminary findings, our review is looking pretty good. In fact, the only major issue that IB is labeled as a matter to be addressed deals with the IB coordinator at Magnolia West High School himself. It seems as though IB has reviewed, because we are live streaming, some of the previous IB banquet films and feels that Mr. Day isn't, and let me get this right, and I quote, adhering to the learner profile and taking more risk with his speeches, end quote. So to address this tonight, Mr. Day has decided to include some poetry with his speech tonight. If you consider this as being live streamed around the world, this is pretty risky. I hope IB is happy. He is also apparently going to speak in the third person as well for some odd reason. Now, if you're the type of person that likes to unwind and relax and contemplate Sonnet 18 by Mr. William Shakespeare, or if you're an English teacher, a former English teacher, or even a wannabe English teacher, I sincerely apologize for what is about to take place. Actually, now might be a good time to stretch your legs and see what's happening in the lobby. Seriously, Dr. King, Ms. Woodward, Ms. Jensen, Ms. Wood, I think you should leave. I warn you, this could get ugly. Okay. IB school, I messed that part up. Sorry about that. I warn you, this could get ugly, but we do want to remain an IB school, so I personally am willing to sacrifice myself for the team. I will point out that though Mr. Day received his master's from Trinity University, it was an education and not English. In fact, his only exposure to poetry was at Waltrip High School, where he spent far too much time tackling people not named Frost, Dickinson, Plath, Poe on Friday nights. And if you listen closely, You can hear a faint sound coming from North Houston as his former English teacher, Miss Pacquiao, is in fact having that last laugh right about now. Okay, he has delayed this moment long enough, so without further ado, a poem titled Class of 2020. Okay. 2 years in IB could feel like forever. I hope when I'm done, you still think I am clever. This is for Miss G. Mushrooms are cool. Miss G really loves them. If they weren't a fungi, I think she would hug them. Studying for this, cramming for that. I hope you all learn the world isn't flat. We have a flat earther over here. This has got to get better. That first part was rough. Who knew taking risk would be so tough? But I will stick with it like you did with me. I'm so happy you finished IB. It's getting better. Frost, Dickinson, Plath, and Poe are all telling me to get on with the show. The road diverged and went another way. It made all the difference at the end of the day. I hope your journey is long and memorable still. Enjoy your surroundings when climbing those hills. The valleys are steep. The mountains are high. You have grit and courage to help you get by. I'm getting emotional. Golly. Parsons, I blame you. Okay. It was going so well. Okay. That doesn't just happen. It's from being pushed to the ledge, but this makes you special and will give you an edge. Socratic's test quizzes and so many projects were all a small part of the object. To grow you into outstanding scholars to help shape the world and not just chase dollars. Money and riches are things just on loan, so don't just focus on what you can own. The world is your oyster. Go chase after your dreams. Don't spend all your time making silly memes. Get off your phone, live life for real. You only get one shot, so enjoy the meal. The treasures of life are forever fleeting. It's really all about the people you're meeting. Friends and family you should hold very dear. They will be in your corner and always give cheer. TOK has long passed by. I hope in some way it opened your eye. Laurel or Yammy can both be okay. It's all about perspective at the end of the day. Is the dress black and blue or white and gold? Learn to think for yourselves, not accept what you're told. Insta, Snapchat, retweets galore may seem like the thing to stop all the bore, but next time that hits, don't give in to temptation. Pick up a pen and paper and find some inspiration. To write a sonnet, poetry, or play, and then you can all be like Mr. Day. All kidding aside, I'm like a very proud dad. You're one of the best classes that we've ever had. The days were long, the homework never quit. You have completed the program and now are legit. And one final verse to say goodbye to the class of 2020, I would ride or die. I'm very proud of all of you guys, and sorry for getting a little emotional, but these guys mean a lot to me. And now that I'm done with that, you get to hear from somebody better than I am, Miss Emily. Red House.
Oh, you took the binder. I want to preface my speech by thanking Mr. Day for his poetic words. I also want to acknowledge the fact that I'm speaking on the attribute of caring, and Mr. Day went through the effort to make my font size 24, because my eyes do not function. So I'd like to thank each and every one of you that are here today. Even without the calamity that this year has consisted of, I know it's a busy season, so thanks. Happy holidays. I especially want to thank those who helped put this graduation together and making this a special occasion for us. It's very exciting. So thank you. Though I wish it were under different circumstances, I am thrilled not only to receive my diploma, but to have our class recognized for our efforts. As my fellow graduates know and are aware, the IB strives to have all of its students dedicate themselves to the 10 aspects of the learner profile that inform our worldview and characterize us as beneficial members of society to some end. With that, I wanted to focus on a critical aspect of the IB learner profile that I feel has really informed our experiences in endeavoring this tremendous accomplishment that is the IB program, especially amidst the introduction of COVID towards what was a big finale of our 2-year journey. Congratulations, by the way. The ability to be a caring individual is shaped by, according to IB, a commitment to service and positive action. Certainly, to that end, it would be negligent to fail to acknowledge the compassion, empathy, and respect of Mr. Day and the IB teachers in both our junior and senior years, probably in our hectic recruitments as sophomores as well. These individuals undoubtedly demonstrated the benefits of being a caring person throughout our experience as diploma candidates. I know for a fact that Day's care to always leave a jar of peanut M&Ms on his desk definitely contributed to my sanity after an intense week. Thanks. The IB staff were outstanding examples of how to respond to others who might not be in the same headspace as you. So thank you again for your patience, by the way. I can only imagine juggling that many type A students. Thanks. This attribute of caring was not only demonstrated by the IB faculty, but by our class as well. Truly, at the end of the line, our diplomas were contingent on just how much we cared to continue pouring effort and thought into this program, even after all it demanded over the years. IB demands attention, even if you are of the utmost intelligence. Not only this, but we emulated caring students in our mindfulness and gentleness towards the at times poor mental health of our class. The stress of this program, coupled with the jumbled time of our lives, unequivocally compounded to a faltering in our emotional stability. Speaking from personal experience, this program is kind of a lot. I believe that a significant portion of our dedication to the diploma was guided by the ability to say that we might be going through this rough patch, but at the same time, we're all going through this and struggling together. In my view, that sense of community-driven compassion made all of the hoops we had to jump through beneficial, in a sense. I appreciate the care you have all shown to me, and I cannot contribute nor place enough emphasis on the effect of your compassion. At the end of the day, the support of Mr. Day and the IB teachers in our successes, and even more, our failures, show the tangibility of this attribute of caring in our pursuit of the diploma. Congratulations, graduates, and remember to treat people with kindness. This is Kylie, the wonderful Kylie.
Hi everyone, my name is Kylie Harsh and I'm a diploma recipient from Magnolia West High School class of 2020 and I'm currently furthering my education at Texas A&M University. I did earn my IB diploma and 24 hours of college credit, which I am very honored to have received. But more importantly, I have gained amazing experiences in IB and have developed characteristics to the program that have helped me grow into a better person. One of those characteristics being open-mindedness, one of the many IB learner profile traits. Learning to become open-minded over the course of IB has affected my experience in high school and within my first semester in college, both in the best ways possible. Going into IB my junior year was pretty scary for me, not only because I was entering into the IB diploma program, but because I had been used to the same circle of friends with the same opinions, same beliefs, and same perspectives on life. And I had never been around people with completely different opinions on varying topics. It was scary for me, but little did I know that IB would shape me into someone who now gets excited to meet people with completely different views than me because I have developed that very crucial open-mindedness characteristic. One thing I love to mention about IB, about how IB has shaped me to become open-minded, is the required theory of knowledge class within the IB program. In IB classes, I was surrounded by such a diverse group of people, which again was intimidating at first, but ended up being one of the best things about IB. We had people all over the political spectrum, people with different religious views, different perspectives in life in general. Debates and discussions within TOK helped me look at not just my own perspective of the world, but it forced me to be put into other person's shoes and try to understand that person's view on specific topics. This is just one of the ways IB has helped me understand the importance of open-mindedness. Further, another way IB has helped me become more open-minded were the guest speaker presentations for exclusively IB students and teachers. Mr. Day would coordinate with different speakers who would then come to West to talk about different controversial topics such as genetically modified organisms and climate change. These presentations were incredibly beneficial because it has helped me become more accepting about other people's opinions with research behind specific claims. It has without a doubt helped me become more open-minded while helping shape my own beliefs due to the different reasonings and views on such controversial topics. Not only did we have these types of discussions in TOK, we had many of these in history, psychology, and even literature. One debate we had in psychology was whether we thought it was moral to use animals for research. It was such an interesting debate because as long as we were generally on topic, we didn't have many boundaries. I got to express my own beliefs, why I believed this, and what evidence I had to support behind my beliefs, and I got to hear the same from my peers. These discussions and debates in IB have just been so incredibly helpful when exploring different viewpoints on multitudes of things such as military tactics, psychology experiments, author symbolism, and even mathematical theories. It has given me the ability to look at many of the different ways something can be interpreted, other than just my own ideas from my own brain. In some ways, being a more open-minded individual has even helped me become more confident in my views on certain aspects in life. Not only has this helped my development in high school, it has especially been beneficial within my first semester of college at A&M. This is because the majority of my online classmates, the majority of my friends, and even the majority of my coworkers have different views, different perspectives on life, and different opinions on things, and I have learned from IB that that is not a bad thing. It is just an opportunity to learn more about the world around us, explore aspects of life, understand why people believe in what they believe in, and how their upbringing affects their views. Overall, this open-minded mindset that was originally presented to me by the IB program has made me more intrigued to learn on Zoom lectures. It has made me become more respectable in other people's eyes, and has made me more knowledgeable as a person in college because I am actually intrigued to learn about other people and their perspectives on life. In conclusion, IB has been one of the best experiences in high school and has truly shaped a boxed-off mindset into a mind that is open and intrigued to learn about the world around it. Thank you. This is Peyton McQuillan.
Hi everyone, my name is Peyton McQuillan and I'm so honored to be speaking here tonight. I was given the IB learner profile trait of being a risk taker, which is defined by IB as approaching uncertainty with forethought and determination, working independently and cooperatively to explore new ideas and innovative strategies, and being resourceful and resilient in the face of challenges and change. Just by joining the IB program, I became a risk taker and soon after began to acquire the other 9 profile traits just like everyone else in our class. The program requires a lot of faith and trust in the process, which I believe equates to being a risk taker. The first part of the definition was approaching uncertainty with forethought and determination, which is exactly how each of us started junior year by joining the program. When I personally started, I did not know what to expect in any of my classes because I did not know what the IB program really was to begin with. It was unfamiliar to me, but I was determined to at least give it a shot and see how it went. I will admit that there were many cases where I was determined to get out of the program as fast as I could, but that never actually happened because I was always reminded to have faith and trust in the program. The second part of the definition was working independently and cooperatively to explore new ideas and innovative strategies. Every day we were given assignments, either in groups or individually, that challenged us to be open to different views and opinions along with new concepts or ideas. These allowed me to gain new research methods and writing skills that made it easier to complete. Even though some of these assignments were out of my comfort zone, they helped me to grow as a student and a person. The third part of the definition was being resourceful and resilient in the face of challenges and change. Again, coming into the IB program was a big risk for me because my freshman and sophomore year I did not take any AP classes, so I was going from none to a full schedule. I was also nervous about having to balance my schoolwork and my athletic commitments. As a runner, I had practice every day at 7 a.m. and after school until 4 p.m. Most weekends I also had races that would take up most of my Saturdays. Being a student athlete is a big commitment and comes with many responsibilities, such as managing your time wisely. Running meant a lot to me because of the talent I have for it, so I had to figure out how to succeed in both being a student and being an athlete. The adjustment was difficult for me, but I eventually figured it out. In class, I struggled to understand how to respond to the style of questions that were being asked, but I realized that you have to be wrong in order to learn something new, and that all the failure that I encountered helped me to learn how to ultimately succeed. As many of y'all know, I now go to TCU, which academically was a risk for me as well because I was choosing to give up possible credit hours that I could have received at other colleges. I looked at a variety of different places that did accept IB credits like
Northwestern University, Southern Methodist University, and Texas A&M because I was open to finding a college that did accept the credits I could earn. However, I still chose to go to TCU to continue my athletic career and because I truly felt like it was the best place for me, even though I was losing these possible credit hours. Despite this, IB still set me up for success there by preparing me for the college-level workload, helping me prioritize by making schedules to stay on track, and by helping me become a more focused student while improving my academic abilities. Overall, I may not have noticed it at the moment, but IB helped me to become a better student and grow as a person in so many ways. Over the past couple years, my writing and speaking skills improved significantly, and it became easier for me to take notes and understand material faster. I began to take my schoolwork more seriously and became more committed to doing whatever it took to get the IB diploma. By being a risk taker and joining the IB program, the transition to college life was so much easier for me. In my English class, I made mostly A's on all my essays, and it did not take me nearly as much time as it did for my friends in the class. The following essays and short answers were just as easy for me to write because I was used to doing it. Knowing how to write a good essay and how to research a topic made the class not as stressful as some of the others and offered me relief. I was also in a statistics class, and IB helped me to have the basic knowledge from math studies going into it because I had a grasp on some of the material. Being in the IB program was for sure a big risk for me to take and came with many failures, but in the end I succeeded by earning the diploma. With that being said, I will say that the risk was worth it. Thank you. And then this is Rebecca.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Benitez, and I'm an economics major at the University of Houston. It's such a pleasure to have the opportunity to speak in front of all of you today. I would like to take a moment to appreciate all the IB staff for putting up with students that overstress about their grades. I know it can seem quite chaotic running on 3 cups of coffee and a couple hours of sleep. Thank you to Ms. Jensen for always providing a safe space during lunch, to J-Rob for always making sure that every student has access to their fair dose of caffeine, Mr. Wheeler for creating an environment of relief and laughter inside the classroom, and finally, Magnolia West IB coordinator, Mr. Day, for encouraging and sticking with us through this 2-year program. I know how sassy our class can be. I'm here today to talk about one of the IB learner profile traits, reflection. It means to answer the question of how do we know what we know? It is defined by IB standards as giving thoughtful consideration to one's own learning experience, to be able to assess and understand one's strengths and limitations in order to support one's own learning and personal development. The IB holds the mission to develop active, compassionate, and lifelong learners to prepare students to succeed and progress. The learner profile traits are highlighted through the 2-year program we have been through. Specifically, the trait of reflection is one we are all very familiar with, even without actually recognizing it. This trait bases itself around the acknowledgments of our own strengths and weaknesses and how those may help us in furthering our learning and personal development. Reflection allows for the thoughtful consideration of how we wish to advance in terms of our own goals in education. Thus, partaking in IB courses, what we choose to major in, and where we choose to go to college show the trait of reflection. Although things are a bit weird now, and many of us live in a constant state of uncertainty, we are able to look back and learn from the past. Our conscious decisions have brought us all here, celebrating our accomplishments with those whom we love and appreciate. I remember a time where I had to take a step back and truly consider what I wanted for myself and for my education. Mr. Day created a space where we were able to talk and go through my other options outside of IB, but after reflecting on my past educational decisions and my goals for the future, I was able to come back from my low point and succeed far greater than I ever thought I could. If you asked me after my first semester in the program if I thought I would get my diploma, I would probably try to change the subject or flat out say no. Yet here I am 2 years later accepting this grand reward of my achievements, and I am now able to reflect back on this experience. I am forever grateful. Being reflective has allowed us to identify all of our strengths and weaknesses in order to succeed. We have thoughtfully considered all of our options until now, and this has led us to this very room. Our experiences have influenced the decisions we have made academically and personally. Throughout the 2-year program, we have been through a lot, but we always overcame our stress and our struggles, and we are now able to look back and laugh while stressing about college. Congratulations, everyone, on their success, and I wish everyone the best. Thank you. And this is Olivia.
Like the rest of you, I was conned into joining IB by Jeremy Day and left everyone thinking I was insane. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of. But in all seriousness, IB was a great experience for me and a choice I do not regret. Hi, my name is Olivia Gallegos. I am a biomedical engineering major at Wichita State University, and I'm here tonight to speak with you about how IB has impacted me. I'll be honest, IB did not teach me time management. I entered the program with a packed schedule, knowing how to handle it, and left the same way. However, my time in IB did teach me to write and think on a deeper level, skills that are necessary for a future lawyer. The ability to think on a deeper level has allowed me to understand the impact the slightest change can make. For example, I'm a senator in my university's Student Government Association, where nearly every week we are voting on and passing bills that will impact the student body in some way. The ability to think deeper allows me to understand the full-scale effects we may inadvertently impose on students while also creating a discussion among the Senate about how we can best amend the bill. These discussions have given me a deeper understanding of the legislative process and allowed me to vote on some incredible things. In addition to deeper thinking, IB has also taught me grit. I learned to have passion and perseverance as I worked towards my goals, even when things seem dismal. Don't let anyone fool you. IB is a challenging program that some days I wanted to drop. But I knew while things may seem challenging now, the reward was going to outweigh the countless hours I spent studying and writing research papers. The first reward is being a junior after only one semester in college. And the second reward is that IB taught me how to write a fully cited, A-worthy research paper within a few hours. Something that has definitely come in handy in college. In fact, my ability to crack out research papers is what helped me land a paid internship before classes ever started. I work for Firepoint Innovations, a partnership company between Wichita State University and the U.S. Army's Combat Capabilities Development Command Aviation and Missile Center. There, I am learning about and partaking in intellectual property law and the licensing of patented technologies. It was my prior experience with IB and writing research papers, particularly my extended essay, that gave me a leg up in the interview process and ultimately landed me an incredible opportunity. I never thought that the skills I developed in the IB program would translate outside the classroom, but they have. My determination has led me to become a collegiate athlete on the Wichita State University rowing team, and it takes a lot of self-discipline to roll out of bed at 5 a.m. for practices, especially when you have afternoon practice as well, and also classes. The grit I developed during my time in IB has allowed me to discover a new sport that I am extremely passionate about. It has also shown me that skills learned in the classroom do in fact transcend out of it. My time in IB has also enhanced a wide variety of characteristics that have been wrapped up into my diploma. Getting the IB diploma shows that I am a hard worker and follow through with what I set out to accomplish. This hardworking attitude and determined spirit are what landed me the role of project lead within my university's Engineers Without Borders chapter. Within this role, I am responsible for overseeing our Ecuador project, where we will be traveling to Ecuador to build a bridge for a small village. This opportunity is not something your average freshman student receives, and goes to show that the time I spent building a hardworking attitude in high school is extremely important. Overall, I can tell you that IB has left a lasting and positive impact that I will carry with me into every chapter of my life. The 2 years I spent working for my diploma not only paid off, but taught me the importance of so many skills that I could not imagine life without him. So thank you to Mr. Day for conning me into the program, and to my family who supported me throughout my crazy endeavor, and also to my friend Edward who showed up here last minute. Thank you.
Can we please give all those guys one more round of applause, please? Oh, I can take this off. Okay, now the moment everyone has been waiting for. If I can get the Magnolia High School students to line up over here, and this is where we input the joke. Let's see if they're really diploma kids that can get in alphabetical order. So, and then Magnolia West, if you guys can start making your way over there as well, so we can get started. Yep. Hey, your speech was great, man. It was great. It was great. You did good. I promise I am going to do my best to pronounce these names for the people I've never met, but I'm really proud of you guys. Great job. Okay, I think you guys ready? Let's do this. Okay, for the class of 2020 diploma recipients from Magnolia High School, our first one is Morgan Budiskay. Hey, by the way, we're taking pictures, guys, so pay attention. Uh-oh. We have an earring issue. This is the coordinators do. We save the day all the time. Okay, perfect. Okay, we have Keisha Brockway. Okay. We have Abigail Brown. Okay. Next is Taylor Frick. Courtney Foltz. Amber Gidry. Cameron Kirschvink. Angel Martinez. Hannah Sagari. Jasmine Suk. And last but certainly not least, Catherine Watson. Congratulations, Magnolia High School.
Well, the pressure's on. Mr. Day, pronounced all the names correctly. What a brilliant idea to publicly introduce people who you do not know. One of our best ideas. Okay, so Magnolia West. Here we go. Rebecca Benitez. Zoe Boyd. Olivia Clark. Amanda Courtney. Olivia Gallegos. Kylie Harsh. Peyton McQuillan. Emily Strathouse. Mackenzie Wade. Madison Williams. And Allie Wright. Well, guys, let's give it up one more time for all these graduates. Yes, congratulations, everyone. After we are done, which we will be so here in just a moment, I'm not sure of the order of it all, but we will have some group photos on the stage. And so hang out for that and be ready to listen for instructions. And then after that, Mr. Day and I will have an arm wrestling match to see truly. No, I'm just kidding. We all know who'd beat me. Okay. So to close us out tonight, let me introduce our very own punk rock graduate, Jasmine Sook.
Hi, y'all. Oh, can you hear me? My name is Jasmine Sook. I am a current student at Emerson College, which is in Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm a major in writing, literature, and publishing. I wanted to first say congratulations to everyone here today who has gotten this far, and we did it, y'all. We finally did it after 2 years of a lot. With that being said, I want to say thank you to my lovely parents who had the absolute pleasure of seeing me fall apart multiple times and become very addicted to black coffee. So I'm sorry about that, but you know, it is what it is. I also want to say thank you to Mr. Parsons, who has been just so amazing, as well as all the IB teachers who we couldn't be here without y'all. We really, really couldn't. Like, actually, those tests wouldn't have happened without y'all. And I also want to say a great thank you to my best friend, Taylor, who I met in IB, and I'm so thankful to have ever met. With that being said, I want to take y'all back in time a little bit to my junior year. of my junior year of IB to an English class that to this day means so, so much to me. It was taught by Miss Benty, and it means the world to me. My first essay in that class was rough, to say the very least. Rough to the point where, as a writing major who will never have to take another math class again, which, hallelujah, I'm still, woo, I'm so happy about that. Y'all don't even know. As a way of putting up with the fact that I didn't want to look at that essay because of how bad it was, I did my math homework to stop myself from crying over that essay. All right? And because of that awful, awful essay, IB made me become very determined in my own writing and everything that I did. And I know that all of the other students here can agree with that in the sense that we all became very determined in what we wanted to do and we became very resilient. It is also called stubbornness, as I have found out. Everyone calls me very stubborn for some reason. I have absolutely no idea why. But with that, I would like to say to all of the people who have graduated here today to keep up that resilience, to keep that determinedness, and to keep up that stubbornness, whatever they want to call it, because that is what is going to get you through life. I know there are many great leaders here and people who are going to do great, great things in this world. I am so proud of all of you, and I hope that you guys have great futures. With that being said, thank you all for coming here tonight. We all appreciate you so much and all of the support of us and the IB program. I hope you all have a great safe drive home, and just have a good night's sleep. Have a good night.
Graduates of both schools, come on up here on the stage. You guys, we're going to take a whole bunch of pictures. Parents, get your phone.